Hello everyone, my name is Andrea Zapparoli Manzoni. I am the Managing Director of Crowdfense. What is Crowdfense? Crowdfense is a UAE-based, world-class research and development hub, which was engineered from the ground up to serve both researchers and customers with the same quality and level of service. Researchers and partners and customers can all benefit from collaborating with us, because we are trying to professionalize this field and to at least a certain degree normalize it and make it work as any other business. We have at this point a growing portfolio of highly actionable offensive capabilities, an interesting set of zero-day capabilities and defensive and offensive tools. We work with the best researchers in the world and with a very few selected customers all over the world. The reason why we select customers is because this is a very sensitive field and we really care about how our tools and our zero days are being employed and deployed on the field. With a growing portfolio of cyber capabilities, mainly offensive cyber capabilities, but not only offensive, we also develop defensive tools for special needs. We offer turnkey solutions to our customers, ranging from intelligence-grade zero days to dedicated platforms and support and training and consulting services. So what is the zero-day market? As a zero-day market, we mean the trade of vulnerabilities which are transformed into tools to achieve some kind of purpose. Usually the zero days vulnerabilities are used to as attack vectors in order to install something on the target device. We don't work on the development of implants, although we clearly understand that kind of business as well. Zero-day exploits can be used both remotely and locally to alter the security model of a target device in order to get control over it. And this type of exploit, since it's not known by the target and also is not known by the vendor of the targeted software, is extremely powerful and can, of course, be extremely useful for institutional purposes, intelligence gathering, information gathering, and investigations. And for this reason, a small subset of zero days which are available on the market are extremely valuable because they are stealth, because they don't create artifacts, because they don't give out their existence, and because, of course, although they are very expensive to buy, they have quite long shelf life, which of course helps to maximize the return on investment for our customers. So what are the main issues with the zero-day market? Which is, by the way, one of the reasons why we decided to create Crowdfense. Well, historically, this developed as an underground movement, and it has all the issues and defects of something that was created bottom-up. So it's unsafe, it's chaotic, and from a business point of view, is very inefficient. This is hampering the now strategic need of our customers to procure a steady flow of offensive capabilities for their purposes. And therefore, this is hampering also their possibility to fight cybercrime, espionage, and information warfare hostile actors. Also, this creates a condition where researchers are often underpaid and not protected. Many times, exploit developers are exploited because they are young, because they are very good at what they do, but they don't have business experience and so on. So this creates, on one hand, issues for the developers. And on the other hand, it creates a vacuum in terms of the talent pool, because many people do this as a second job, or do this job for a while and then leave for something which gives them more certainties in life. For us, this is bad. We want to help researchers keep doing what they are very good at, and to have enough resources and time and peace of mind to do their job properly. There are two more issues. From the demand side, usually customers have no guarantees about when they buy a 0 day, they don't receive any kind of support or guarantees, which is partly due to the nature of these things, which of course have a very short shelf life and can be patched anytime. But there is something that can be done to support them, and we do it, while others think this is too expensive or requires too much effort. And managing these risks is basically what Crowdfense was designed for. So we are not only procuring 0 days, but we are treating this whole thing in a professional and corporate-like way, introducing best practices, processes, and a safe environment for all the parties involved. So our approach in practice, considering that the speed of evolution of this field is astonishing, and what was true 5 years ago is not true anymore, and there are so many variables. So we're not talking only about a technical issue here, but there are geopolitical, economic, legal, organizational issues at stake, and there are also potential impacts on the society, because the wrong deployment of these capabilities could create huge side effects that, of course, we want to avoid at all costs. So, to combat the inefficiencies of this market, and also to self-regulate, since there is no enough regulations for this field, not yet at least, we are doing 4 things. The first is protecting the researchers, paying them more, offering them fair contracts, and creating a trusted relationship with them. The second is, and this is more interesting for the customers, efficiently allocating their resources in a way that they don't waste their funds buying capabilities that can be burned easily or that will be patched very quickly, and therefore raising the return on investment for their budgets. And also we try to reduce unnecessary middlemen. This sector is plagued by a lot of individuals and organizations that are sitting in between researchers and customers without bringing any real added value. So of course we collaborate with many brokers and with many companies, but only if they bring added value to the negotiations and to the customers and to the researchers as well. And the fourth thing is we are developing best practices for this field, which are completely normal in any other field, but not in this one. So we are striving to introduce new standards, business standards, and also quality standards in terms of products. And this is a big effort, because of course it would be easier to reap easy profits with a short-term vision rather than investing in this kind of normalization of this field. Starting in 2018, we launched our first public bug bounty program, and we backed it with a $10 million fund, offering the highest payouts on the market. In 2019, we extended this program both in terms of scope, of families of target, and in terms of funds, raising them to $15 million. And we confirmed the same scope and funding for 2020. Of course, through this program, we were able to acquire very, very powerful and interesting 0 days. And we are planning to extend again the scope of the program in the next months. So the second thing we did for implementing our strategy in practice was launching the Vulnerability Research Hub, or VRH, which is a web-based application that allows researchers to safely and anonymously submit their 0 days to us through the web. Now, many people think that this is a crazy decision because, of course, such an application which contains very sensitive information would be, and it is actually, target to many cyber attacks. But it is designed and built in a way that allows us to basically operate with a zero trust approach, end-to-end encryption, and quite safe overall conditions. So the OPSEC for all the players which participate to the VRH is good enough. So if you are a researcher and if you want to submit your research to us, the best way is to go through the VRH, which you can find at vrh.crowdfense.com. Of course, this is a very complex process and requires a lot of technical skills and patience on both sides, because there are so many things that can go wrong or cannot fit the customer requirements, or maybe the fantastic 0 day that you submitted would be patched while we are negotiating, and all this fantastic work will be lost. So keep in mind that the 0 day funnel is extremely steep. So for 100 submissions, we end up delivering probably 5 0 days to our customers. So how do our customers use these capabilities? Well, first of all, we support them into understanding all the possible usages of these tools. Not all 0 days, as I said, are born equal, so they have different ways, and there are different opportunities depending on what it is. But before doing this, we perform a very deep and complicated risk analysis evaluation, because this is a sensitive material. Formally, this is considered dual-use technology, and we also have to follow laws and regulations which are different from country to country, or that come from the Wassenaar Agreement, which describes how to deal with dual-use technologies. So this risk analysis is very complex, and in the end, it will give us a K-risk index for each asset, for each customer. And then we will decide what we want and what we can offer to whom and in what terms. And this is also a very complicated endeavor, because of course, from a profit point of view, for us it would be better to sell everything to everyone, which is something that we don't want to do at all. So of course we try to self-regulate, also because nobody is telling us what we can and what we can't do. But at the same time, there are huge issues at stake. So basically we restrain ourselves in many, many cases, because we know that we could make a nice profit in the short term, but we could create big problems in the mid to long term. So let me give you some statistics from the VRH. This is something that is not very commonly done by companies in our field. But we think that a certain degree of transparency is very useful, also to bring the conversation to the next level. We need to talk about these things, because although they are very sensitive, there are some very interesting points that we need to address, especially how do we move forward, since the world is changing so fast with regards to these things. So let me give you some statistics. After 1 year in 2019, of around 125 0 days, 93% were still 0 day, and 89% were still available. for purchase. So this is a very important result, because we see that average lifespan of these 0 days is 12 months or more. And this depends on the way we treat them and the way we avoid to burn them or to sell them to the wrong customer or to engineer them in a way that will make them detectable. This improves the return on investment for the customers compared to the average lifespan of intelligence grade 0 days by 70 to 200%, which is a significant improvement, which mostly comes from the process that we put in place to manage these things. The average reliability of all these exploits is in the 90 to 100% range, which means they are extremely powerful, and their detectability is almost zero. So imagine the advantage for a customer of buying a capability that lasts at least on average twice as much as it would last in different conditions. It's a huge significant advantage both in economic terms and in operative terms. So what is our portfolio of products and services? Well, as we discussed, we are testing and delivering 0-day capabilities to our customers. We also give support and maintenance, which is not very common in this field for many reasons. Some very obvious, because these goods are very perishable and they can become unusable any moment. But still we try at least to replace them with something which has the same purpose. Then we can also help our customers by weaponizing known end-day vulnerabilities, which can still be useful because many times target systems are not patched or cannot be patched. So even if a vulnerability is already known, maybe the way a customer can use it will change a little bit because it's not completely stealth, but still can have some applications. Among our services, we offer knowledge transfer and training. This is, of course, necessary when we are offering tools, especially our computer network exploitation platform, which is quite complex and needs some period of training. But we are also available to discuss high-level issues involved with management of an arsenal of 0 days, which is definitely completely different from any other kind of arsenal. And so we can help our customers to build up their teams, build up their organizational processes, and manage this new area of operations in the right way. So what can we do for you, and what can we do with you? From a researcher point of view, as we said, we can help you to achieve better results, better payouts. We can help to support your efforts and in a safe environment and with fair contracts, creating a relationship based on trust. And for customers, of course, we can create partnerships. We can work with your trusted suppliers and create a chain of trust, and also create new ways for achieving your goals, which maybe are not yet known, but will develop in the next months and years. From the point of view of companies which are working in this field, we are very open to collaborations and to create partnerships. We can also invest in the creation of research and development labs in other countries, and to finance teams which are focusing on specific areas of research. And finally, we sponsor several offensive security events all over the world. And in this case, we usually try to give back to the community by not only sponsoring the event, but also offering free tickets for young researchers and students, or offering prizes for Capture the Flag contests. So if you have any interesting event coming up, just let us know. So thank you for watching this video. It was a pleasure for me to discuss about these topics with you. So if you have any further inquiry or have any thing that you would like to discuss with us, both as a researcher and as a potential partner or customer, just contact us through our website, and it will be my pleasure to talk with you.